After over a year of delay, A Quiet Place Part 2 was finally released yesterday. So here's my take on the movie. Let me take you guys a little backstory. My name is Nathan, and just want to say welcome back. It's been like 2 weeks since I did a video, but that was because there was just barely any good movies coming out. But then but finally a movie came out, and now I could do my review on it. So let me give you some backstory on the original A Quiet Place. Now, the original movie came out in 2018, and I was a huge fan of that movie because what it did so well was that you care about this family living in silence because of alien creatures. And this movie seems to expand on that. And if you just watch the trailers, it's a little less than you imagine when you actually watch the movie. So like the first one did so well of establishing the characters and making us care about them. And it expands on that because they have to leave the farm and go on this adventure out into the unknown. With that said, I gave you a little bit of backstory. Now let's move on to the movie review, starting off with the positives. Now I have a lot to say about this, and for me this is certainly a worthy sequel to the original movie. When you look at the trailers of this movie, you expect it to be good, but sort of not as good as you were expecting. But for me, this is an example of a sequel that is better than the original film because it expands on that mythology. It has a lot of tragedy, the scares, the thrills of it, and it has more of that inside of this movie. Now there are 2 separate plot lines in this movie, but then they both switch, transition back and forth. I like it when movies do that in some cases, but then then this movie is a case that does it very well. And also, I feel like this movie is a very surprisingly emotional movie also, because then doesn't end on a specifically high note, but it has a lot of emotion, so it combines these scenes with suspense, scares, tragedy, and combines them with this sense of hope that they can win. Some of the plot lines in the movie, they're sort of sidelined and stuff, and they feel like they could be you feel like they're gonna get contrived when watching the movie, but the way John Krasinski did it was phenomenal, and this is a sequel that is better than the original to me. And a big standout in this movie is certainly Cillian Murphy's character. I think he had a great personality and a compelling sort of arc throughout the story. And then another character I really enjoyed was Millicent Simmons' character, who is she's a deaf mute, but she is able to say a lot without needing to say anything. And she has also has this sort of compelling arc throughout the story when they get to the island and stuff like that. So this is just a real achievement. And for both of these movies, you would expect John Krasinski to direct a horror movie. You would see his name, and you wouldn't think of him as a horror movie. You would think of him as a character in The Office. But the way he visualizes this script and characters of people, and this is just a movie that that like I don't know how it's gonna age, but then like on first viewing, it was really a fantastic, phenomenal movie, and it has more of what it has in the original. Beyond that, it has more thrills, more scares, more action, and more plot to the first one. The first one was just about a simple storyline about a family living in a farm and defending themselves while living in silence. The second one expands on that, and they need to leave the farm and go in on this adventure and survive at the same time. And it keeps the charm of the first one. Charm isn't really the word I should have used, but it keeps all the thrills of the first one, meaning that throughout the movie, like, you believe that any character is going to die in the movie. It keeps all the suspense, and it's not a predictable story. It can feel a little bit like talky at times, just a little bit talky at times, but this is a highly entertaining movie. That doesn't mean it's perfect, so let's move on to the negatives. I'm going to be very fast about this because this is a fantastic movie by John Krasinski. Well, first off, it is essentially a movie with two different plot lines, and I think like one or two characters are pretty wasted in the movie that you could have done a little more with, and like, so that's a little nitpick that I said. This movie's awesome. Like, so overall, I'd give this a 9.5 out of 10, and this is a must-watch movie. If you can, you have to see this one in the theater. So there you have it. That's my take on A Quiet Place Part 2. Let me know down below in the comment section what you thought of the movie. If you haven't watched it, let me know what you thought of the original movie down below in the comment section. And I think this by far is one of my top 2 movies of the year so far, I'm pretty sure. So there you have it. That is my take on A Quiet Place Part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one.